Hi. So I am going to do a read aloud today called First Day Jitters. There's a good chance that most of you have already read this book, but it is my absolute favorite book to do on the first day of school. Remember that a jitter is something that's making you nervous. What has made you nervous about the first day of school? This is a new first day of school for all of us. This is completely different than any school year you've ever had before. So I'm going to read this aloud, and then remember, after I read this, you are going to post what made you jittery about today on our Padlet. You do not have to put your name on that if you don't want to, but you can if you do want to. First day jitters. Sarah, dear, time to get out of bed, Mr. Hartwell said, poking his head through the bedroom doorway. You don't want to miss the first day of school at your new school, do you? I'm not going, said Sarah, and pulled the covers over her head. Of course you're going, honey, said Mr. Hartwell as he walked over to the window and snapped up the shade. No, I'm not. I don't want to start over again. I hate my new school, Sarah said. She tunneled down to the end of her bed. How can you hate your new school, sweetheart? Mr. Hartwell chuckled. You've never even been there before. Don't worry. You liked your other school. You'll like this one. Besides, just think of all the new friends you'll meet. That's just it. I don't know anybody, and it will be hard, and I just hate it. That's all. It's kind of similar to me this year because I am new to Old Mill. What will everyone think if you aren't there? We told them you were coming. She's feeling extremely jittery about this first day of school. They will think that I am lucky, and they will wish that they were at home in bed just like me, Mr. Hartwell sighed. Sarah Jane Hartwell, I'm not playing this silly game 1 second longer. I'll see you downstairs in 5 minutes. I'm wondering if any of your parents had to pull you out of bed this morning. Sarah tumbled out of bed. She stumbled into the bathroom. She fumbled into her clothes. My head hurts, she moaned as she trudged into the kitchen. Mr. Hartwell handed Sarah a piece of toast and her lunchbox. They walked to the car. Sarah's hands were cold and clammy. There's a good sign that she's jittery right there. Your body sometimes can tell you that it's jittery. They drove down the street. She couldn't breathe. And then they were there. I feel sick, said Sarah weakly. Nonsense, said Mr. Hartwell. You'll love your new school once you get started. Oh, look, there's your principal, Mrs. Burton. Sarah slumped into her seat. Oh, Sarah, Mrs. Burton gushed, peeking into the car. There you are. Come on. I'll show you where to go. Someone's being kind to her. She led Sarah into the building and walked quickly through the crowded hallways. Don't worry, everyone is nervous the first day, she said over her shoulder as Sarah rushed to keep up. Even if you've been at the same school for a very long time, the first day is always nerve-wracking. For the teacher, too. When they got to the classroom, most of the children were already in their seats. The class looked up as Mrs. Burton cleared her throat. Class, attention please, said Mrs. Burton. When the class was quiet, she led Sarah to the front of the room and said, Class, I would like you to meet your new teacher, Mrs. Sarah Jane Hartwell. It was the teacher who was jittery the whole time. Boys and girls, I am feeling just as jittery about all of this as you are today. This is new for all of us. It's okay. We're going to make it through. Remember to fill out the Padlet on what made you jittery today, what were you most nervous about, and then be sure to join us back at the end of our time so that we can make our jitter juice together. Have a nice break.